In the world of Azeroth, every hero's journey is a tale of triumph and peril. But in the realm of hardcore, death is a true enemy. No respawns, no second chances, just a raw, unrelenting challenge of surviving. Each quest, each monster, each battle is a test of your strength and will. The stakes are higher than ever, and the price of failure is steep. In this land, only the strongest endure. In this land, only the strongest will survive. This is a journey of Frostwiz.
Alright, time to create a new hero. The role of Azeroth is waiting. We could go with a tried and true warrior, the classic paladin, maybe even a hunter. But today we're going full me mode. And let's make a gnome mage. Behold, the gnome mage. Sure, it's a meme spec of World of Warcraft. People laugh at the idea of a tiny little wizard running around, casting spells. But trust me, these little guys pack a punch. Okay, maybe not a big punch, but a punch nonetheless. And honestly, I love the chaos and fun that comes with it. It's just not about being efficient, it's about embracing the madness. You see, Classic WoW is the version of the game. There's no substitute for that feeling of a slow, rewarding grind. And I'm just not any player. I'm a true classic Andy, a proud one. I've got a wife, I got 3 kids, I got a full-time job. So yeah, I don't have the time to play every single day, but that's exactly why Classic WoW is so perfect for me. In this game, you can take a week off, log back in, and everything is exactly how you left it. There's no FOMO here. You don't miss anything. You're not playing catch-up. The game is always there for you where you're ready to dive back in, and that's also what keeps me coming back. The comfort of knowing the world is still the same, waiting for me to jump in whenever I've got the time. The challenge is still there, the adventure is still there, and I'm still pushing forward. Whether you're in the thick of a raid or just killing mobs for some gold, it's that sense of progression that feels real. It's like nothing else. So here we go, a gnome mage hardcore mode. Will this tiny wizard survive the dangers of Classic WoW? Or will the grind be too much for him? Who knows? One thing's for sure, it's going to be one wild ride. Stick around and let's see how this goes. Welcome to the chaos and welcome to the adventure. Let's get started.
For the Horde!
Nah, of course I'm just kidding. Fuck Alliance, and most definitely fuck gnomes. No, there was only one option, the Horde, the Forsaken, the Undead. Another reason to play Classic is you play in a time where Sylvanas is actually likable. When I see what they did in retail, I don't ever want to be part of that. Growing up in Thurisval Glades, the Undercity as our capital, letting underground the former Lordaeron as a filthy undead we are. We will have our revenge on the Scourge. I main an undead mage on Classic Era, as you can see here. And I shall main an undead mage on Hardcore. For the Forsaken.
Yes.
Did you actually think I was going to pick this? Hell no. But for real now. After customizing my character on the new anniversary servers, I kinda missed the early boat already, of course. So I came to the conclusion a lot of names were taken already. Anyway, Frostwiz it was. Since my goal in hardcore was mainly to stay alive and hopefully reach level 60, being a frost mage is what I will be. Of course it's awesome getting an ignite proc and doing insane amounts of damage, but as I said, I wanted to survive. I want utility of vital defensive tools to get out of tricky situations. A frost mage is what I will be on hardcore, and damage was of secondary importance for this journey.
Also, on a second note, this is my actual voice, but I kind of dislike it a lot when I hear it, so I decided to just AI generate a voiceover on the text I spoke in. So
I hope you like it as much as I do. And now let's enjoy the Forsaken intro.
Armies of the Scourge seek to eradicate all life on Azeroth. Led by the Banshee Sylvanas Windrunner, a group of renegades broke away from the Scourge and freed themselves of the Lich King's domination. Known by some as the Forsaken, this group fights a constant battle, not only to retain its freedom from the Scourge, but also to slaughter those who would hunt them as monsters. With Sylvanas as their Banshee queen, the Forsaken have built a dark stronghold beneath the ruins of Lordaeron's former capital city. This hidden undercity forms a sprawling labyrinth that stretches beneath the haunted woods of the Tirisfal Glades. Though the very land is cursed, the zealous humans of the Scarlet Crusade still cling to their scattered holdings, obsessed with eradicating the undead and retaking their homeland. Convinced that the primitive races of the Horde can help them achieve victory over their enemies, the Forsaken have entered an alliance of convenience. Harboring no true loyalty for their new allies, they will go to any lengths to ensure their dark plans come to fruition. As one of the Forsaken, you must massacre any who pose a threat to the new order, human, undead, or otherwise.
There I was, my beloved Tirisfal Glades. After setting up my add-ons and interface, and I know it probably will look a little bit messy for some of you, but this is how I like it. It was time to stop my journey, reaching level 60 without dying. My first task was to let my fellow Forsaken know the Scourge will be purged by my hand, along with any filthy human I come across.
Hello, Unlooker Cook. I shall become the chosen ones.
Hello, lucky you.
He who will defeat Kel'Thuzad. Remember my name.
And then I left, at least until...
Whoa, I am just a regular dead man, I'm sorry. I will, let's go.
I'm gonna too.
Let go!
And so we danced in celebration of this good news.
They affect Kel'Thuzad.
Dylan.
Yoo-hoo!
Let's go, boys.
And after that, I finally left, because the World of Warcraft was calling my name to save Azeroth. After accepting my first quest and making my first casualty in the form of a bat, I demanded another quest from my homeboard Jarvis. I also informed my fellow Forsaken this old man was handing out some quests. I knew I did my first part in helping my undead friends, as the gratitude I received was almost instant. I was already making a name for myself. After killing some zombies and wolves who infested our lands with their presence, I quickly dinged a few times. Those lovely fast low-level dings. On the other hand, I also had a major problem being just as broke as the amount of flesh around my body, which is none. I had to beg Tali the warrior to lend me 3 copper, which I have not paid back up to this date now that I think about it. But I will make sure Tali will receive his copper back though.
And you shall have water. Tali. 3 copper. I beg you. Tali, I love you. One day I will repay you.
After finally being able to buy my first set of new spells, I went back into the wilds to kill some more zombies and spiders. God, I hate spiders. In the meantime, I also did some collecting from some scavenge goods, and collecting is something we do a lot in wowclassic. I continued killing more spiders and got an invite from other people doing this. But the problem is I just offed them for a stamina buff 5 times. I didn't receive one, and I quickly realized not all of my Forsaken counterparts had the same amount of intelligence I had. Of course, they weren't mages either. I'd have to make sure I learn the social skills of talking with an inferior class to get what I want next time.
Idiots.
But on a more serious note, Executor Aaron came up with some splendid news for my first quest he gave me.
You will be happy to know we appear to be making progress in the mine, thanks in no small part to your efforts. We can now turn our eyes to other concerns. My scouts have reported that a detachment of the Scarlet Crusade is setting up a camp southeast of here.
Kill humans who were part of the Scarlet Crusade. The Scarlet Crusade believe we still are a plague that needs to be cleansed from the surface of the World of Warcraft. Attacking several outskirts around the town of Brill, including here in Deadnell, Little do they know, I was around the corner to make the human scum know they were not invited to the party. Death to the living. I also like to drink, like, a lot. It's a bit what we made cheese do. So, yeah. As a final result, I killed their leader, Mevan Korval, to take back the Scarlet's documents we so desperately needed.
These undead atrocities will be destroyed.
Silence, fool.
And after having the audacity to speak like he did against the great Frostwiz, I had no other choice than to send him to an early grave. And I think Lady Sylvanas was so proud of me, she made me level up after my kuti was completed. After getting a few more spells and upgrades, that was about all I can do in Detmel. The Scarlet Cans got obliterated, spiders and zombies were purged, and naughty wolves got chased away from our lands. Which led me to the gates of Detmel, and I had to enter an even more dangerous place. Most of the mobs here will not be yellow anymore, meaning I will have to start watching my aggro range a lot better from now on. With that in mind, I made my way to the village called Brill. After reaching Brill, I had to take a look around, and it was beautiful. Dark, grim, a graveyard, companions everywhere, just the way I liked it. With the Zeppelin towering over the village that can take our forsaken asses to the Horde capital Orgrimmar or Booty Bay in Stranglethorn Vale. Also, I got to pick up my primary professions. I wanted to pick alchemy and herbalism for the fact that I can permabuff myself with elixirs and craft as many potions as I can to help me when necessary. I could have picked engineering too, of course, but I just want to pick some herbs and plants. That's my style. I was pleased to put my hearthstone at the inn, and there I met this troll called Iakathan.
A troll? What brings you here?
Loas be wanting me to do their bidding, mon.
Fucker.
Yes.
That is good. I bid you good luck.
Consent. Bro, you dead as fuck.
Yes, Arthur's did me bad. I will kill a snitch, Kel'Thuzad.
Fuck your wife.
That is my mission. My wife is even more dead than me now.
Good luck with that, mon.
It was already worse when she was alive. Thank you. Good luck, you are a good troll.
Good luck, you're dead.
Aye.
Schizo.
And then he left and came back, so I just waved. So when this was all done, I picked up my quests, trained my first aid, and went on to kill some dark owls and, of course, some more bats. I was pleased to pick my first herbs and couldn't wait to start crafting my beautiful potions in a while. When I saw my main man fly kill him, I decided it was time to pick up fishing in the brothels as well, and start fishing like a madman already to get a head start. That savory, deviant delight will be waiting for me in the future, so I could disguise myself as an obnoxious human when I was fighting mobs, so that I could bash the flesh off my skin to turn back into my beautiful final form, which is, of course, undead. But, as you could guess, I was broke as fuck again, so I had to go back to Brill to sell some crap from my bags because I needed 1 silver to trade my fishing. After killing everything in my way, I got back into the village and saw a nice bear who I danced with for a little bit. I feathered my goods, got back to Big CK, and started fishing like a boss. So I went back a little bit to pick some more herbs, kill some more bats, and of course got back to fishing. And I fished like a lot. And a lot. I fished so much until my skill was almost max level for my level already. $75, baby. I went back to questing and already got pissed at the first one, since this asshole kept stealing my mobs. I went a bit more up north and saw this nice specimen named Gordo. Like myself, Gordo likes picking flowers. He was so kind to ask me to pick some weeds for him. I knew it was going to be the weed that he liked most, so we could get absolutely shit-faced again after smoking it. Yeah, mate, this is how it made you look afterwards. So, anyway, back to business as usual. In the meantime, I was driving the remaining humans out of our lands. They say we are undead, but I'm sure the bones of my skull still have more brains than humanoids. While Azeroth is being invaded with dragons and scourge, these idiots are here growing pumpkins and having a tea party. Not on my watch. I made sure none of the pumpkins were left on their fields for them to pick. I made double sure, since I also purged the lands of them too. No pumpkins, no humans. This seemed like a great evening in Tirisfal Glades. A bit later, they called in help from a familiar sight I've seen before, the Scarlet Crusade.
Regan, Eiko, Nathan, Lo Newt, was to whom may anus. Both these fire mods diras was Sylvia Berhin.
Their warriors thought they were a match for my freezing frostbolts, but alas, they were no match for my superior skill of pressing my F button on my keyboard so fast and so hard over and over again. But then, a little bit further at the riverside, another opponent would face me. One who was more terrifying than anything else I had encountered so far. Their history is still somewhat shrouded in mystery. Legends say they are an even more ancient species on Azeroth than the trolls. But the sound they make still haunts me when I sleep. Thank God I never sleep since I'm already dead, but still, it would have been otherwise. Anyway, I had no other choice than to reap for 5 thin scales of their bodies, because I had a quest that told me so. I made them suffer for the hideous sound they make, by giving them a clapping with my stick. Frostbolts, melee swings, I can do it all. I got really annoyed by their gasters though. They hit like a truck, which would almost be fatal a little down up the road in this video. But on the other hand, when they kept their mouths shut, they were actually quite tolerable, and I enjoyed my mana juice in the presence of my new friends. After I made elixirs to buff myself up, I went back in enemy territory and gave them an even bigger spanking than before, setting them on fire to cook later on. Which reminded me I really needed to visit Undercity to get my cooking profession as well. Anyway, on my way back to Brill to turn in my quests, I killed some more brainless scourge. Look how I outwitted the skeleton fool. They are no match for the Forsaken. Back in Drill, I dinged again, leveled up my alchemy, killed some rothhide mongrels, and joined the guild for whatever reason. And when I was ready to visit the Undercity after killing some more Scarlet dudes, I heard that hideous noise once again. When I looked behind me, the Murlocs were back and even better than before. Because I was making some video footage, my camera was all messed up, and when I looked at my hellbar, the devious creature sent me in a bad spot. On the other hand, this was exactly why I wanted alchemy. Pop that potion and get out as fast as I can. After patching myself up, I got back to take my revenge. Again. I blasted the Murlocs back in the river and made my way to my beloved Forsaken capital, the Undercity. The Undercity is the capital city of the Forsaken Undead of the Horde. Far beneath the ruined capital city of the Kingdom of Lordaeron, its royal crypts return into a bastion of evil and undead. Originally intended by Prince Arthas to be the Scourge's seat of power, the budding Undercity was abandoned when Arthas was recalled to aid the Lich King in a distant war trend. In Arthas' absence, the Dark Lady Sylvanas Windrunner led the rebel Forsaken to the Undercity and claimed it for their own. Since taking up residence, the Forsaken worked to complete the Undercity's construction by dredging the twisted maze of catacombs, tombs, and dungeons that Arthas began. The Undercity is much more defensible than the city above it. But it's not only that. There was a far more greater danger here than I have faced in the past, even worse than the Murlocs. This here is the map of the Undercity. Do you see those huge red stains on it? Yeah, those were places where people die. A lot. If you thought Sephiroth, Patchwork, are you the brother of my friend Gordo, by the way? Anyway, Kel'Thuzad or Hogger were the deadliest bosses in the Eastern Kingdoms. Think Yem. Because in front of me, fellow travelers, was the Undercity elevator, a place of death. Literally. But I faced it with all I had. And voila! I couldn't believe I made it. This made me feel like I was ready to conquer Azeroth. While I was at it, far too late also, since I didn't even add a wand at this point, I went on to do some business here in UC. First off, I needed to grab my cooking profession, since my fishing went hand in hand with it. I could level them together in the process. I also went to the bank to get some space in my backs. I really forgot how horrible it was to have zero money and zero backspace all the time. It was a constant struggle of reorganizing it so far. Anyway, I also went to the auction house to sell some pots and elixirs since I desperately needed every copper I could get, but luckily I had enough to get a very needed wand. I leveled my alchemy, took a glorious bath in the Greek canals, bought some max, and went back on my way again. Back outside, I partnered up with a fellow mage named Nineth. Nineth was a very cool dude who I spent the rest of the evening with, killing mostly Scarlet Scum. He came from Gibraltar and I was fascinated by that since I have never met or spoken to anyone who came from there. But, as I said, we had a great time together and once again it became clear that mages understand each other because we are superior and have a rotation that is almost impossible to master. We made our way to every quest we had in a very fast pace and even invited the third mage to our Frostbolt party. His name was Milnox.
Magefest, fuck it up!
We made quick work of his excuse of a captain who was defending its already collapsed tower. Why are these humans so stupid? We asked Milnox to keep questing with us, but it seemed he had other plans.
Thank you, guys.
Wanna stay around?
Good luck.
Gonna do a new plate too. He left us.
Anyway, me and Enith kept on rolling, and I was glad he was on my side when we had to kill spiders again, because, as I said in the beginning of the video, I'm not too keen on spiders. When we turned in some quests, we started bonding even more.
Brussels is on my bucket list.
Go to Bruges and stat, mate. We walked the wrong way in the meantime, sir.
I know.
Picking herbs quick.
A World of Warcraft classic hardcore friendship seemed to have forged.
I'm smoking the herb in a second.
No, I'm kidding. I never spoke or seen Init again after this evening, but it was fun while it lasted. The last quest we did together was killing some Scarlet Captain and his bodyguards. Since we are mages, we let them run around as the sheep they are and cause havoc on their bodies. I hope he is still alive at the point I'm making this video, and if you see this Ninit mate, stay safe. Seeing as I did almost all the quests I could do in Theros Fall, it was about time I made my move to a new zone, being Silverbine Forest. I was level 12 at the point I looked at the map, and it became time to step out of my comfort zone and start exploring Azeroth a bit more. But first, I still had to do a big test. My first cave quest, but the cave being an underground tomb. Every hardcore WoW player knows, tight spaces with nowhere to run are the biggest nightmare, and things could go wrong very fast. So I needed to be cool about this. And there it was. Captain Dargo was defeated. The tomb was secured again. I looted his skull and went back to the magistrate in Brill to deliver proof of his downfall. As a reward, I got my first green staff, the Darkwood staff, which Outlaw used to continue cleaning our forsaken lands of all those who trespass. After making the short trip back to the Undercity to turn in my mage quest, I couldn't help but walk past the former throne of Lord Aram. I sat on it and I looked awesome. In another world, I would have become the king and I would have whooped Artus's ass. He's very lucky he's not a wowclassic. His lich will do for now, I guess. I turned in my mage quest and got a stupid orb. Thank you, Anastasia. Since I was level 13, it was about time that I started investing my talent points, which I seemed to have forgotten when I looked at it. The Frost Mage talent tree is a blessing. It is so good. And literally every talent point you invest is an upgrade for the class. I always have a hard time investing my points as everything is just, yeah, fine. And then it was time to enter Silverbine Forest. At the edges of forsaken homelands, these woods are haunted and wild, with tall pines towering over the lands. The forest is eerily silent, apart from the occasional howling of the wolves and worgen echoing amongst the trees. Abandoned farms and mines possess the land. The Forsaken control the northern forest, and that region serves as a staging area for their armies that march into the besieged kingdom of Gilneas. What remains of the human population retains control of the southern forest, but they are desperate, and their forces thinly stretched. Since the fall of the Grey Main Wall and the spread of the Worgen curse, the Gilneas Liberation Front has decided to strike back at the Forsaken after their first invasion, openly fighting against their oppressors. Though the territory belongs to the Forsaken, their claim was disputed by the wizards of Dalaran Gilneans and the raised Gilnean noblemen that now have entrenched themselves, along with the Scourge remnants in Baron Silver Lane's former fortress, the Shadowfang Keep. Upon entering the forest, I checked for the escort quest, which was unfortunately not available. When looking at the map, it was clear kindergarten was over. This was the real deal, and I had to be very sharp from now on when I went on the questing trip. So, I decided to pick some flowers and do what I do best, kill murlocs. I trekked back and the escort quest was available again. Without any effort, I brought my Deathstalker back to his crib, picked up my new quests, and went on a killing spree. Suddenly, I just seemed to forgot I was doing hardcore, since I was playing for a while straight, and everything just went way too smooth. That was until I did this stupidest thing a hardcore WoW player can do. Enjoy the ride. So, I guess that was pretty close. And I have to say, when I look at some hardcore WoW death compilations and see like a level 20 die, I'm just like, oh well, you're just level 20, go again. But even at level 13 now, it felt insane how much my adrenaline started to rise facing World of Warcraft death right in the face. This was the first time I looked at the replay, and holy hell was I lucky. The fact that I gave them my back, which is probably the stupidest thing to do, actually helped me because I was so lucky with the stun RNG and I could actually gain some distance from the mobs. I think if I would have strafed while running, I would have lost a bit more time and I would have received the final blow. How I managed to pull the extra 2 was also, not that good. Anyway, this was without a doubt a sign that I was destined to do great things in the future. Also, the son of Arugo, or Arago, whatever, stopped the Cast's curse, which is actually a lifesaver in fact. For the record, mages get decurse to level 18, so I wasn't able to decurse it either. As you can see, the tick hit like a level 60 raid boss. Being all hyped and all, I had to share my story of course. The story of how the level 13 Frostwiz survived a brutal attack from a level 24 elite.
I just escaped Arugo. Goddamn. 2%.
Sheesh. Haha. You lucky guy.
Shit myself, mate. Thank you.
Hehe. Chill for a bit. Hehe.
And because XSF was so supportive and took his time to listen to me, I decided to give my man some help bots, which he was very grateful for.
Damn. Thanks.
You're welcome.
And because he was a warrior, I also gave him some elixirs of minor defense. I told you all I was going to be a coot mage.
Damn, thanks.
You too, mates.
Real G.
So I just sat down, did a move, and ate my health back up after every take until the curse was over. When the debuff was finally gone, I could really breathe again. At least it was a huge wake-up call. From now on, only focus in enemy territory, especially when it's a zone I'm not too familiar with. I always go to the Barrens around level 10 on my previous jars. I skid Silverpine Forest because, in my opinion, there's a big level difference in between quests. and the Barrens is just too good for questing and leveling. And of course being very close to Ragefire Chasm in Orgrimmar and Wailing Caverns in the Barrens itself. It's a leveling paradise with an epic general chat. Everyone who is familiar with the Hort knows it is. But hey, this time, I decided to stay in Silverpine Forest. Luckily, my friend Dalar Dawnreaver had a great say about Arugel.
Lady Sylvanus has charged Varimathras with the conquering of the human and dwarven lands to the south. But that fool, Arugal, charlatan of Dalaran and now cursed beast of Shadowfang Keep, let his reckless magic wreak havoc with the strategic stronghold of Silverpine Forest.
Yeah, trust you man, I've seen that already. But anyway, it was time to get back to business. So, after picking up and earning him some quests in Undercity and Silverpine, I also went back to the alchemy trainer to get an upgrade on my health buffs. And I upgraded my alchemy skill cap to 150. I really did not regret choosing alchemy above engineering at this point. I think the son of Arugel encounter would have left me in pieces at this stage of the game otherwise. With my map filled up with quests, it was time to take off again. So I continued my saga of killing Worgen and killing 872 bears, whom only 6 of them appeared to have a heart which I needed. And they say we are the undead. The ghouls roaming around this place were unsafe either for my devastating frostbolts, and I filled up the rest of my spare time with collecting some more herbs. I wanted to get my alchemy up as good and as fast as possible, since I really wanted to make some shadow protection buffs for Shadowfang Keep, and some free action potions for when times would look very grim. It's also a good sale on the auction house. I also looted the remedy of Argal, so my forsaken wizards could use the spells against him apparently, and when I saw 3 Worgen scum sitting around a campfire stewing up some food, I had flashbacks of the previous encounter and had to take my revenge. I walked up to them and said,
"Hey, Worgen, you might want to put down the ladles. Things are about to get positively messy."
Lacking any sense of humor, they only growled at me and I battled again. After setting the first one's ass on fire with my opening fireball, his 2 hairy meatball friends decided to join the party. I made quick riddance of one of them by polymorphing him in the thing he was just eating. I turned back around and bought the frost gnome out to stick the other 2 in the freezing food bath. After I created distance, it was time to unleash the frost power. When my Worgen enemy was ready to give it up, I let them come a little bit more near me to show the true force of Frostwiz. Dodging 2 melee swings like Prime Mike Tyson, I had seen enough that I wanted the second one bound ease. When I started bashing the third one, I saw my sheep transformer run back in, so I returned him back to his final form. I then got rid of the second one for good, and decided to patch myself up again with some bandages. The first one was still running around in circles, absolutely helpless. I then gave him some frostfire medicine, by first setting his tail on fire, and then putting it out myself with a chilly breeze. This poor wolfman had no idea what hit him, before I returned him back to the bowels of the earth, and defeating my 3 Worgen foes.
Ooh, so strong. Where's your elite friend now, bitch?
With my sweet revenge completed, I walked a bit further and teamed up with a mage and a priest to kill some gnolls. So the chief gnoll Nightlash would come over after we eradicated enough of the followers. Being classic, it took about 600 kills again before he would turn up. So I decided to make a little campfire and cook the Worgen I just killed to eat for lunch, and I wasn't even hungry. When my 2 minions were done killing enough gnolls, the Nightlash showed up and we made quick riddance of him. I looted his essence, whenever that may be. I went on my way again to immediately run into a shaman who didn't see a single bro while teaming up. Like, a lot of people don't say a single bro when teaming up. I don't get that. Anyway, we killed and looted Ivar the Boneless Siseth. The Foul. Ivar the Foul. I continue my Worgen Slaughterfest and ding to level 15 in process. Ah yes, a sweet next talent point. My next quest with these foul creatures included killing mobs in the cave. Yes, this time it wasn't a tomb, but a good old deadly cave. I also noticed quite fast the respawn rate of these mobs would turn out to be problematic when stuck in a tight area with only one way out. I decided to come back later because I went on to steal a crate from some noob Dalaran apprentice mages. They didn't knew it hit them when they saw an actual full-grown mage of the Forsaken. And then, someone asked to team up for a quest to General Chet. His name was Sletek, and we didn't knew it at that time, but a beautiful, toxic, name-calling and ninja herp-looting World of Warcraft classic hardcore friendship was about to be born.
So, hey guys, I just wanted to say that I really enjoy watching World of Warcraft content creation, but it seems like everything is flooded with streamers. Apart from the Grandmaster Barnybee, Uber Danger, Pines, and recently also Raph and Anti-Jax, I don't think there is anything out there just like this, so I thought, why not try it myself? To be clear, this was just for myself to be a little bit creative, but I have absolutely zero background in editing, voice recording, storytelling, or whatsoever. I know this is probably very amateuristic work, but I put my heart and soul in it, and in the hopes of at least keeping some people entertained while watching WoW classic content that is not streaming. I had a really hard time doing the voiceover a bit correct. I know some words just don't come out that well, and I will try to improve on this or work on my articulation a lot more in upcoming uploads. If you liked it, I would very much appreciate if you hit the like and subscribe button on the video and on my freshly created page, as I will try to progress my weak skills in doing this and make more videos as long as I stay alive, in the hopes of bringing something different to the table. Please also, if you have comments about it, things that you did or and especially did not like, please let me know in the comments, as I want to create something in the future that a lot of people will enjoy. But again, please do not compare me with Barnybee or anything. That's also absolutely not my intention. I literally barely know anything about a computer. I barely know how to press the on and off button, and my IT skills are next to none. The only times I tried even remotely what I did here are on my son's YouTube videos, as he loves vlogging. If there are any Dutch-speaking people here who have children, I will link his channel below. If you could give him a follow too, he would be the happiest kid alive, I think. He makes some really cool videos, in my opinion. This also includes non-Dutch-speaking people, by the way. But anyway, if you made it all the way through the end of this video, I would love to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I truly hoped it entertained you at least a little bit. Until the next episode of the Adventures of Frostwiz. Bye.